What is going on? Everybody listening to another episode of Paving Away. Paving Away. That is what you're listening to. Messed that one up, but stuff happened, right? But hey, um, yeah, you chose to listen in again today and see what I have to talk about. I hope everybody had a great week. I hope everyone's looking forward to a good weekend, wherever that may be and whoever that may be with. I hope it is good to you. So, on Wednesday, we talked about the supporters for the dreamers, the doers, the workers, the entrepreneurs, the entrepreneurs, anybody who really just puts in the work and the support that they get from home or from their friends and family and things like that, and how important that is. And as important as that is, and as much as as vital as that is to an individual's growth and development and abilities, another part of that goes into it, and that's the part that we're going to talk about today. And that's the individuals that are the doers, the dreamers, the grinders, the hustlers, whatever we want to call them, but the people putting in the work day in and day out. And as you can see by the title of today's show, it's "Don't Give Up" or "Don't Stop Now." Sorry, man, I'm on a roll today, but it's "Don't Stop Now." So the way I thought about this was a little story for you. So the other day, I was sitting at our house and I gone into my wife's office. She works from home, so we have one of the bedrooms in our house. We've converted to her, work from home office. And in there is a rug. It's a approximately probably like an 8 by 10 area rug. Nothing fancy, nothing special, anything like that. And I have no idea why I went in her office the other day, but I sat down at her desk and we were just talking about something, and I just caught myself looking at the rug, and I looked at her. I said, "You know something about this rug?" She's like, "What?" I was like, "This is the rug that was in the first office that I ever rented for Proline." And when I say it was the rug for the first office, the rug took up the entire office. So the very first office outside of my house that I actually rented for Proline, an 8 by 10 area rug took up the entire space. And it just kind of sent me down like a little rabbit hole of how far things have come in a matter of 3 years. So that office was rented at a like an office suites building. So there was multiple businesses running out of the building. Each person rented an office accordingly. Fantastic concept. It worked wonderfully for us. We really enjoyed it and had absolutely no complaints about it. And when I rented it, I'm like, "Oh man, this is crazy." Like, we're getting a real office. It was the first year we had hired someone to work in administrative positions, so they had a place for them to go and to work. I mean, we crammed 2 desks in the office, so that way, we could both have a workstation when I was in there. And just to think about, and that was about this time in 2020. That was about February, March or so of 2020 that we rented that office for the first time. And we were also renting a storage unit that was, at that time, it was probably a oh, how big was that one? That one was probably about a 12 by 40 unit. So it was a larger unit, but it was just a big roll up door and kept all of our stuff in there, all of our equipment and odds and ends, as well as we were renting some trailer spaces at another storage facility. So we were spread out over three locations between the office, the unit, the storage unit, and then a trailer lot to keep all of our trailers. And so, like I said, that was spring of 2020. And if you fast forward to spring of 2023, in the office that I'm currently sitting in, which my office is one of 3 offices in this building that we have, and my office itself is probably about the size, if not a little bit bigger than the first and only office we started with back in 2020. And before I hopped on here to talk with you guys, I went and I went out to the bay, and because it's a flex space that we have now, it's an office warehouse, so everything's all in one. And I measured the entire total square footage of the unit that we have, like the facility that we operate out of, and it's right around 3,000 square feet that we have. So in a matter of 3 years, we went from, call it a 10 by 10 office, 100 square feet, to 3,000 square feet, all under one roof. All of our equipment, our trucks, our trailers, everything like that is parked at one location that everybody in the company is able to come to and call it home. And when we were able to do that, it was it was a very a feeling that was is very difficult to describe, but it was one of accomplishment. It was one of happiness, hope, and optimism that we're moving this thing in the right direction. And I mean, a little side note to that, between this location and the original office, we had another office space that we had found that was a flex space, and it was only about 1,200 square feet. And I thought, oh, this is great. We're going to be perfect. Have a small little shop, a couple little offices. We're good to go. And then 3 months after signing that lease, this one came available. And this is the one I've had my eye on for, gosh, probably close to 8 years or so. So it's something that has been a long time coming, but is an eye opener to really think about how far we've come and why we've come this far. And I can say that if you know me, I've never been accused of thinking small. I've had people tell me that, I could think bigger, but not that I'm thinking, too small or anything like that. And I always knew that, even though when we got that first office, heck, when I was running out of the house, I said, this is going to be something that's big. We're going to have a big team. We're going to make a big impact. We're going to make, a lot of changes. We're going to set bars, things like that, and just continue to grow and develop and just be the best that we can be, and put one foot in front of the other, day in, day out, regardless of how we feel. And so when I was thinking about this, of how much just our tangible space have grown, it also led me down, like I said, this rabbit hole, to think about the lives that we're getting to actually touch and impact on a day-to-day basis. And when I say that, it's not necessarily just inside our company. At that time back in 2020, we had one administrative person that I had hired for the first time ever, having someone else to answer the phone calls, to help do estimates and sales and so on and so forth. And then we had about 3 people in operations. A couple of them were kind of part-time where they were in school. Some of them were working full-time for the summer, whatever it may be. And then it was me. So we had a total of 5 of us in total. Since then, we now have a total of 5 people just in our operations team. We have 2 people in our office for administrative duties. We have 1 salesperson and myself. So we've gone from, a total of 5 people 3 years ago to now a total of, what is that, 9 people now, including me. And we've had some people come and go. Last year at our peak time, we had, I think it was around 8 people in operations, and some of those people came and went, which is to be expected. That's normal, right? That's business. But the fact that, like I said, is not just the tangible amount that we've grown, but the lives that we get to impact. These individuals that are working in this company, they have families, they have wives, they have fiancés, they have children, they have parents, that maybe they help take care of. They have friends that, they like to go and do things with and live a life with. And man, it is an absolute honor to me to be, quote unquote, in charge of running this company that gets to affect not just these 9 people in our organization, but also every contractor that we get to work with. We have other contractors that we work with on projects, to get our clients taken care of. We get to impact the clients that we work with. We get to provide them an experience, a service, and just an overall relationship that they can, go to their peers with or go home with and be like, wow, this was something completely different than we're ever used to. We get to also work with the vendors that we get to impact their lives. We get to give them a good experience. A lot of people in the contracting world, they've just beat up vendors, whether it's on price or delivery or time frames or product supply or whatever it may be. And yeah, I mean, there's times where conversations happen, but generally speaking, we give our vendors as much grace as we would want to be given as the client, right? And so we get to use this thing that has just grown and developed and turned into something that is becoming a staple in our industry, in our market, with our peer groups that we're a part of, all because we didn't stop, because we didn't give up, because we kept going. We kept putting one foot in front of the other day in and day out, doing the work, even when we don't feel like it, even when we wonder if this is really going to work or not. We just kept doing it, kept chiseling away at it. And here we are. Our revenue has, nearly quadrupled since 2020, year over year. Not every year is quadrupled, but last year compared to 2020, we've, like I said, hired more people on us full time. We've been able to start offering some, kind of perks and benefits as far as, PTO and health insurance stipends and things like that. We've been able to, provide, great Christmas bonuses and throw a Christmas party for people. Like all these things that were just never done just a matter of 3 years ago, we're able to start doing now. And it's because, like I said, we just didn't stop. We didn't give up. We didn't quit. So if you're in a position right now and you're trying to build your company, or you're trying to build your career, or whatever it may be that you're trying to build, my simplest advice to you is just don't stop. As long as the goal and the motive is pure, continue down that path, continue putting in the reps, continue getting better at whatever it is you're getting better at. And the results don't have a choice but to come. So, as someone with the experience, with the background, and just with the opportunity to come to you and tell you about it, I can be confident in saying that if you don't quit, if you don't give up, you will get where you want to go. You will pave the way to the life that you want. So, that's my message for you today. Like I said, I'm very fortunate to be sitting in an office here that's, a 3,000 square foot office warehouse space. Only 3 years ago, we were in a 100 square foot office in an office suites building. And I'm grateful for the journey and everything in between. It puts things into perspective. It allows me some time to reflect and some time to be excited and to be appreciative of where we've come, and also to look forward to where we're going. So, guys, I appreciate you tuning in and listening to this little story, my 2 cents on not giving up, not quitting, not stopping, and just keep on pushing on. So I appreciate you guys. I hope you have a fantastic rest of your Saturday, and I look forward to seeing you guys next Wednesday. Let me know if you need